Hello my lovely elegant ladies, I hope you are all well. Today is a bit of a different video. I'm going to be answering your questions in relation to dating, romance, marriage, etc. And I'm going to be answering them whilst getting ready for a date myself. Welcome back to another video. My name is Vivian. I am the founder of Woman of Elegance, which is a platform that I've created to help women globally become the most elegant, refined and sophisticated women that they can be. Getting ready for an elegance date. I'm by no means a makeup artist, but I'm just going to be taking you through my routine, things that actually work for me. You can teach me a few things along the way, that would be great. But I'm by no means complex when it comes to my makeup. I keep things very, very simple. So it's not always easy to be elegant, especially when you're dating, because reasoning just tends to go out of the window and you think with your heart, you wear your heart on your sleeve. But this is a very easy way to get caught off guard. And this is not what I want you to do. I want you to always maintain your composure and always keep it classy. So forget about the 90-day rule and things like that. We are not going to discuss this here. I'm going to discuss with you how you can always maintain that class when you're dating. So once I've got that even coverage across my eyelids as well, because that can kind of get creased too, I'm done with my priming. I keep it very simple when I'm going on a date when it comes to my makeup, because I don't want to come across as too desperate. I don't want to come across as eager. And I think this is a very good approach to take. You should always keep it natural, because the moment you start piling on the makeup and just trying too hard, it comes across as desperate, and that is not what you're trying to go for. Always keep it natural, and that is what I'm doing at the moment. So I've just applied a primer onto my face because my face is particularly oily, so this helps my face to mattify. Now I'm just going to go in with my eyes, my eyebrows, and brush them towards the top of my forehead. So just give that a nice arch right there. Okay, there we have it. Then I am going to slowly use my pencil to shade in the brow. There we have it. Just nice and simple. The first question is from Don Kangara. How do you elegantly end a relationship? What expectations should you enter a relationship with? And how emotional should women allow themselves to be in a relationship? So the first one is how to elegantly end a relationship. This is a difficult one because there is no real easy way to end a relationship, but there's certainly an elegant way to do it. First of all, don't do it via text, because texting always conveys a different meaning to what you want it to convey, and it just comes across as you couldn't be bothered. And I don't think that's what an elegant woman do. She would always put effort into things that she does, and she's always intentional. So I think you should really approach it the way you would want to be approached if a person was to break up with you. So now I'm going to use a concealer brush with my concealer, coat the brush. Because my eyebrows aren't done, I don't shave my eyebrows, I don't wax them or thread them or anything like that. I literally leave my eyebrows natural. I haven't done it in a very long time. So what I do is just use the concealer to hide the excess hairs, the hairs I don't want to be shown. And that will give me a nice arch, like so. So you just blend that in so it just dissipates. And do that just gently, take your time. So you can get a reasonably nice, natural looking arch. Remember, the code name here is natural, because we are naturally beautiful. We don't want to mask it. And men do say this, and I think it's a general consensus, that they don't like too much makeup anyway. Well, I mean, it's very general. Some men probably do, but yeah, they don't really like that. So to elegantly end a relationship, I think that you should do it in person. I think you would like the same done to you. Don't do it over the phone. Again, emotions are running high. And obviously it does depend on the nature of your relationship. If it was a very acrimonious relationship, then things are not going to be easy, and you probably don't want to be in close proximity to him because you don't know what can happen. But if it was a relationship that was a good one but it didn't work out, I think you should sit down with him, maybe over lunch or something, a cup of coffee, and explain your reasons and stand your ground. Do not change your mind. If you know that this is not what you want anymore and it's a waste of your time, just end it in person, always in person. Same way you wouldn't expect your employer to fire you over the phone. They'll call you in and then they will discuss things with you. Simple as that. Secondly, she asked, what expectations should you enter a relationship with? I think you should have your expectations set. I think you should have your standards, like I said, but don't expect too much because you'll just end up being disappointed. You should know what you want, and if you don't get it, you should exit. I don't think you should lower your standards for anybody. I think it's important to have realistic standards, but if they are not met, you can choose to stay or you can choose to leave. And thirdly, she asked, how emotional should women allow themselves to be in a relationship? It's hard because we can't really dictate how emotional we're going to be. We can't say, okay, today I'm going to be incredibly emotional, tomorrow not so much. It's just something that happens naturally and we can't fight it. It's just our genetic makeup. It's just how we are. As women, we are a lot more emotional. We tend to approach things in a more emotional way. So it's difficult. But I do think that you should not wear your heart on your sleeve, especially early on in the relationship, because you can really set yourself up for a disappointment. So now I'm going to go in with an eyeshadow. This is a very, very, very subtle eyeshadow. It's nothing that you can really see. Because again, I don't really like the thick colors and I'm not particularly good at applying makeup anyway. I hardly wear it. I only wear it when I'm doing photo shoots or when I'm shooting videos or going out somewhere special. I don't wear makeup to work or shopping or anything like that. Because the thing is, one thing I don't like is when you don't wear makeup and then you put it on and it's a massive change. It just looks a little bit odd. So in terms of emotions, I think that you should be smart. I think you shouldn't be led with your heart. Think logically. It is difficult to do this, especially when you're intimate with the person quite earlier on. And this is why I don't think you should do this, because once you start being intimate with someone, it doesn't matter what stage you are in a relationship, if it's not marriage, and you've already given your emotions away. But if you are not intimate and things don't work out, you've kind of left unscathed. It didn't work out. You wasted a little bit of your time, but it is what it is. But once you become intimate with the person and you start to rely on him emotionally, things kind of get sticky and you have to be careful when it comes to things like that. So now I'm just going to apply some eyeliner. Just a fell swoop right there. A little flick at the end. I think it just looks a little bit nice. Now I'm going to top it up using some mascara. The next question is from the Fasting Vegan. How to steer the conversation so you can keep things light but still get to know the guy well enough to know if you would accept a second date. This is a good one actually. I think that if you go in too heavy at the beginning, you could risk chasing the man away. Conversation to keep things light. Remember why you're there. So first of all, I don't think you should just talk about irrelevant things. I think you should subtly ask questions that are meaningful, but in a light-hearted way. For example, questions like, if money were no object, what would you do? Just little things like that to keep things light-hearted. But by asking those kind of questions, you kind of ascertain what his mindset is, what his goals are. The moment you start asking questions like, how many children do you want? Or what do you envision your marriage to be like? And things like that, you kind of go into new territory. So if you want to keep things light-hearted, you should stick to asking light-hearted questions and nothing too deep. But remember, you're there to see if you can take things to the next step. You're not just there to have fun or to just entertain him. If you are, then that's completely different. But if you would like this to progress into a relationship naturally, then be smart with your questions. Ask them in a light-hearted manner, but make sure you have a reason for asking them. So there we have it, ladies. My mascara has been applied. I won't be wearing any false eyelashes because I really want to keep things natural and beautiful. The third question is from Ivy on Edge. How do you confidently ask what you want when establishing a relationship with a man? I seem to just settle for anything because I don't really know how to ask, or I'm scared to say I really enjoy luxury. I think this is something that a lot of women do have problems with. I'm going to go in with a little bit of concealer under my eye to hide those unsightly bags because I've been very busy and I've not been sleeping, naughty me. And now I'm just going to use a brush to blend that in. Okay, this is actually a foundation brush, but I use it as a concealer brush. I know an artist is as good as her tools, but sometimes you just have to improvise. This it's quite a wide brush, so I can spread it evenly. It doesn't really matter what you use anyway. Okay, there you go. The important point here is that how do you confidently ask for what you want when establishing a relationship with a man? And this is where the issue is. A lot of women, when they're just starting out on a relationship, they say, I want this, 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 and this. And then the man goes, well, hang on. Why should I even think about investing with you when we're just establishing something? We've not brought anything to the table. We're just kind of getting to know each other. And I do understand the frustration, because it's like a man saying to you, just establishing a relationship with you and saying, okay, well, I want this, 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 and this. If you don't give me these things, then this relationship is not going to work. It doesn't work like that. Think of it as a job interview. You make an application and you state exactly what your skills are, what your credentials are, and why you're good for the job. And the interviewer will call you if they think you're a good fit. The same thing, when you are going into a relationship, you have to know what you're bringing to the table. You need to know, okay, these are my qualities, these are my credentials, and this is what I can bring to make the relationship a success. The moment you just go in all guns blazing, yes, I'm the table, and this is what I want, and this is what I should get. Honestly, ladies, no matter what people tell you, it does not work like that. I think the way you behave, the way you carry yourself with dignity, with respect, with elegance, that can really give off the sense that you have high standards. You don't need to say what your standards are because they're plain to see. And it's up to the man whether he wants to run with it or not. And she also says that I just seem to settle for anything because I don't really know how to ask. You should know the kind of man you're dealing with from the beginning. Does he have children with multiple women? Does he have a job? Does he have his own place? What kind of men are you going for to begin with? If you're going for these deadbeat men, don't expect luxury, don't expect anything other than the same thing that he's given to the women in the past. It doesn't work like that. The type of man that you choose shows whether you're settling or not. If you are going for the kind of men that I just described, then what else are you expecting? But if you're consistently going for men who are of high value, who respect themselves, and are useful members of society, then you're likely to get something in that category. Men are not stupid. I think they know what they can provide and what they're willing to provide and what they can't. And I do also think that you attract who you are. If you are shabby, if you don't look after yourself, if you don't look after your health, if you don't have a stable job or something you're doing, then you can't really expect to attract someone of a high caliber. You have to be the equate. That's just how it is. I'm just using my trusted sponge, my beauty blender, to evenly apply my foundation to give me some even coverage. As you can see, there's quite a demarcation between my foundation and the concealer, so you have to blend it in properly so you can get that seamless look. So there you have it, ladies. A very thin application of foundation just to give me that sultry silk look. Nothing caked, it's a bit too much, but just the natural coverage is what I want. As you said here, stop settling for anything. Have your standards and look for men who will be able to reach those standards or who are of that standard. Stop settling, because you can't start dating these useless men and then all of a sudden you want a man of a high caliber. You have to know what you want. Stop dating altogether if you don't seem to be attracting the kind of man that you want, because you're wasting your time. And you shouldn't really have to say you enjoy luxury. That should speak for itself. The way you carry yourself, the things you wear, the kind of places you venture to recreationally. Do you just go to the local cinema, or do you like to go to the opera or to ballet or to these sophisticated events? That really speaks volumes. So you shouldn't have to say this. Your life should reverberate this. You shouldn't have to say I enjoy luxury, because if you're always venturing out to these elegant places, then it shows itself that you enjoy luxury and you enjoy sophistication. Now I'm going to go in with some highlighter just to highlight the top of my cheekbones, something very subtle, very shimmery that the light will be able to bounce off. Nothing too much again. Question number 4 is from the Bliss Lady. What do you think about 50-50 relationships? Should a man be a full provider, or should each person provide? This is a very interesting question, and I think this is a question on a lot of women's minds today. I really do think it depends, and I do think it varies from culture to culture. I know in Scandinavian countries, they're very big on equality, so they do tend to go 50-50, that's for sure. But in other countries, for example, countries in Africa or the Indian subcontinent, men do tend to be the providers in relationships generally. I think in the Western world, in the UK, this obviously varies because of how cosmopolitan and multicultural the UK is. Personally, I'm all for chivalry, so I do think that the man should be the provider. Growing up, my dad was the provider for everything. My mum was a homemaker. She was an exceptional homemaker. She made sure we wanted for nothing. My dad provided everything when it came to the monetary things, such as paying for the bills and paying for food and everything. So I grew up with that dynamic, and that's what I'm used to. But I do think times have changed dramatically. It's not every time the woman is able to stay at home whilst the man goes out to work, especially if he doesn't have a high paying job. If he does have a high paying job, I do think that it's a nice balance for the woman to be a homemaker and the man to be able to provide financially. It does probably sound a little bit archaic to a lot of people, but that is just my view. Again, if you're looking for a man to be a provider, which types of men are you dating? Which types of men are you attracting? Are you attracting men who haven't bothered to provide for their previous children, that don't see their previous children? Are those the kind of men you're dating? Well, if that's the case, then don't expect him to provide anything for you. He can't even feed his kids. But if you're dating high caliber men, if you are attracting high caliber men, then that'll probably be the norm for him to be able to provide for his woman. Really just depends on the kind of man that you are attracting. So I'm carefully now going to line my lip with a lip liner. There we go. Cute and natural, right? It reminds me of the way my mum used to do makeup. Just very bish bash bosh, and there you go. But that is what I'm working with at the moment. And I just put some Vaseline on my lips to just kind of blend it in a bit. I hate using lip gloss, it just makes my lips feel sticky. There you have it. You see, ladies, you don't need too much, do you? So the next question is from Lydian. How do you make a lasting impression on a date but avoid being too much? Ladies, I think it's important to be yourself, because if you pretend, it's going to come out very soon, sooner than you even think. You will be let off guard. Be yourself. There's a reason why he chose you, or he was attracted to you, and I think you should really be authentic. Don't pretend, don't play games. It makes you look mediocre, and like I said, the truth always comes out in the end. Have a sense of humor. I think having a sense of humor always lightens things up, and it makes you memorable in that respect. Dress elegantly. If you dress provocatively, then you are really giving the impression that I want sex, or I want us to have a sexual kind of contact with each other. But if you dress elegantly and modestly, which is something that's quite rare nowadays, I think you can make a lasting impression that way. I think if you come across as sophisticated and classy, like I said, this is something that's rare. I think that could help you make a lasting impression, honestly speaking. I know it probably sounds a little bit old-fashioned to you, but it works. Don't go in there with thick makeup and these caterpillar lashes and this attitude and looking all provocative. You don't need to do that. Go in there modestly, elegantly, and I think you could really make a lasting impression that way. Take it from me, ladies. And a question from Chocody asks, should I make the first move on a guy if I'm interested? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the 21st century. This is 2022. We don't wait for men to come to us. This is a different dynamic. Men work, women work, and there's so many opportunities for women to meet men in the office, at the gym, at the cinema, whatever it might be. It's not like women weren't allowed to go out on their own in the 18th century and they had to wait for men to call on them. It's a different dynamic now. If you are interested in a man, absolutely make the first move, but keep it dignified, Keep it elegant and keep it classy. Don't be desperate. Don't chase a man down. Be subtle about it. It's your eye contact. It's your body language. Men do pick up on these things. And there's nothing wrong with saying, there's this exhibition that I've seen at a gallery. I think you would really enjoy it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you come across as desperate. Never, ever, ever chase a man. Yes, you can drop subtle hints. Yes, there's nothing wrong with making the first move on initiating a date, but that is it, because men detest women who chase them desperately. And trust me, if you do that, he's going to take advantage of you. He's going to see that it's for free, that you've given it to him on a platter of silver, and he's not going to make any effort. Now that the makeup is done, I am going to go onto the hair. And as you know, I do love wearing wigs. I like that elongated look. And I have received this beautiful, beautiful wig from Hair Vivi. Now, Hair Vivi have an incredible range of high quality human hair virgin wigs, and I think that they're fabulous. And the one that they sent to me is so gorgeous. I'm going to try it on for you so you can have a look at what it looks like. The packaging is luxe. It's got this kind of velvety feel to it. Here we have it in this gorgeous silk pouch, as you can see, Hair Vivi there. Now here we are. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't she beautiful? Ladies, introducing this fabulous wig by Hair Vivi. I'm going to demonstrate to you how easy this is to install. I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate complicated things. I hate putting glue on my hair and all these things. So I'm going to show you that you can just literally put this wig on and it would look so natural. So for those of you who are not familiar with lace wigs are really created to give the illusion that the hair is growing from the scalp. They are individually tied into a French or a Swiss lace that you would cut off at the front just to make it look natural, obviously. But as you can you see how intricate that detail is? And this really makes it look very natural. It doesn't actually look like a wig, depending on how you apply it. It's got a very secure band there, as you can see, that you can adjust to suit the tightness that you want. So you've got the adjustable band there. And if you want it super tight, you adjust it all the way to the end. And if you want it a little bit loose, you adjust it. There you go. And then you have this really large comb at the back to give you that extra security that you need when wearing a wig. Okay, so now I'm going to try it on for you. I'm not going to use any glue or anything like that. I absolutely hate it, and I actually really don't have time to do those things. I'm going to now cut around the perimeter of the wig as close to the hairline as possible. As you see, the lace is lighter than my scalp, than my face. So there's a very, very easy way to circumvent this. What you just simply do is dab it using the foundation that you use on your skin and dab it on the inside of the wig. And this will really create the illusion that the hair is growing from your scalp. So there you have it, ladies. Can you see? I have dyed the wig using my foundation. So it gives it a browner texture and a browner tone, which makes it look a lot more realistic than if it were just the natural tint. So this is how easy it is. You can just use your foundation if you need to color the lace, just tint it gently. Now I'm going to put it on. So ladies, there you have it, a completely new look. No glue, nothing. It looks fabulous. I absolutely love it. You can just play about with the baby hairs with some gel that you can just use to manipulate the edges to give you more of a natural look. What do you think? I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, honestly, I don't even need to do much to it. Just gonna use my paddle brush through it, and you are literally ready to go. You can just manipulate the edges to give you more of a realistic look, such as with gel. But ultimately what you're trying to achieve is the illusion of scalp growth, and I think I've really been able to achieve that very easily with this wig by Hair Vivi. I really love the body of the wig and the volume that it gives me. I've had wigs in the past that are just too thick and they're all over the place, but this is not like that. This is so simple. It's just falls down my back elegantly. It's not too heavy and the quality is exceptional. And as you can see, it has this pre-plucked hairline because I don't really have time to go in and pluck my hairline and do this and that and glue it to my head, because I just find that it's really annoying. But this one is just pre-plucked and it looks so natural, doesn't it? It's gorgeous. I think it's a worthwhile investment. They have different textures, if you like it curly, if you like an afro texture, if you like it very long straight, if you like it wavy. They have a huge selection. Look at the way it just flows down. Wow, it is gorgeous, right? So ladies, there you have it. If you want to purchase your very own Hair Vivi wig, I will leave an affiliate link in the description box below. Please click that link to purchase your very own wig. Ladies, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye for now.